settle in your seat for a minute. You know what I mean? Because your main man, Big AC the one, by the way, that's me. It's finna take you motherfuckers on a ride. And this ain't your basic hood nigga ass talking a bunch of shit about what the fuck was going on in the hood, nigga. Like it was the only motherfucking hood in America, the world, and all that old shit. No, yo, this is a different type of motherfucking ride. And if y'all would, just bear with me. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of confusion out there in the world, and I'm about to add to it. Okay, so, anywho's, right? Bang. Let me start off by just saying, Western civilizations, scholastic, motherfucking, fuck your history. Okay, let's start there, nigga. Fuck your history, or fuck they history, right? Yeah, bam. Now, why do I say that? Because, nigga, the motherfucking history that's being taught through goddamn me, you know, school books and motherfucking pamphlets and all of this shit, man. This is supposed to be the age of information, nigga. They had the what's that shit Obama punk ass signed in the law besides Obamacare? Let me see. Oh, the Information Act and shit, man. Right, man. She that after a certain amount of years, which is a very short amount of years to an OG motherfucker like me at least, right, bam, 20, 25 years or something, man. Information is supposed to be released to the general mass, to the public. That's you. That's me. That's us, motherfucker. So, as I going ahead and pass away the motherfucking shit that I was smoking on, I'm gonna prove a point with what I just did, but I didn't do what I just did to prove a point. Okay, follow me. So now, according to these motherfuckers that have taught us and are teaching us history from the very first time we ever motherfucking opened up any kind of a book, man, to read about it, you dig me? We were taught that motherfucking humans have only been here for a very short while. 5, 6 thousand years or some shit like that, right? And in 5 or 6 thousand years, man, we done had God come down here and make motherfuckers out of clay. Let me see. Oh yeah. Then we had motherfuckers like Moses and Abraham and all them. They did great wondrous works of the Lord. We had hella holy wars and shit like that, right? Which are still going on today, by the way. Just check out Pakistan and Israel if you don't believe me, right? Bang. And yeah, you dig this? All this motherfucking great fanatical, fantastical shit happened all in the scope of about 6 to 7, 8 thousand years at the most. Yeah, right. Being and oh yeah. Oh, okay. So then I'm gonna throw ancient Samaria in there. Let's see, ancient Samaria. Let me see. Carry the one. Hold on, motherfuckers. I'm counting on my toes and I'm running out of shit, nigga. Ancient Samaria dates back to at least well fucking 40, 50,000 years ago, and was tracked to being as far back as 200,000 years ago. Now I don't know about you, motherfucker, but where I come from, nigga, we don't fucking play. I don't see how the fuck you get to 200,000, nigga, and you only got six. Now, I've tried to spend $200,000 with only $6 in my pocket, my nigga, and I'm gonna tell you that Lamborghini did not leave the fucking lot with me. It really didn't. Only in my dreams. Let me manifest that shit right now, cause I'm woke. Anyway, back to the shit. So yeah, we got ancient Samaria. We got all of these motherfucking things that don't fit into the nice, neat bow on top with a fucking ribbon ass little package they call history of man. Well, let me help you motherfuckers out. First of all, now this is my own opinion. I ain't got this one right here. Is no proof and all this shit, but I'm gonna line some few things up and I'm gonna crisscross some lines that motherfuckers say you can't crisscross. Probably just because they say you can't crisscross them, but this is what I'm gonna do. So, in the beginning, there was a void and there was darkness and there wasn't shit, right? I think they got that part of it right. And then there was a big ass boom, right? Bam, hella specks of dust flying, swirling, swooping, swanking, magnetizing, generating, fucking rotating, all the shit, nigga. And it's going, right? Bam. And in a very short sprinkle of a jingle, right? I guess the dinosaurs who lived here for millions of years, but fuck that. That don't count for nothing. When the big boom happened, all the little speckles of dust came down and killed the fucking dinosaurs so that our motherfucking puny asses could come and fuck up run over, and roughshod on this whole beautiful goddamn planet that God was so gracious as to bless us with. So, bam, when all that shit was going on, the Sumerians, they fell in a fucking hole. I don't know. The devil's wife's pussy swallowed them up. I don't know what the fuck they trying to say happened, but all I'm trying to tell you is this: fuck that hit, fuck they history, fuck they history, right? That shit don't add up, it don't line up, and it don't motherfucking move me one bit. So, in the beginning, nigga, there was some motherfucker sitting up on. Oh, but wait, they got that shit wrong too, because God wasn't God on high by his own self, was he? Hell no. He said, we created man. So there we go. We got a contradiction already. Now, the we is in the Bible, so I'm not going to discredit the Bible. I'm going to discredit these sorry ass motherfuckers who've been teaching it to you. You sit up in Sunday goddamn school and all that old Bible, whatever the fuck it is, that these motherfuckers have made up as part of the pageantry that you call your religious motherfucking beliefs and ritual. Yay! Curry from three. So anywho, yeah, bang. They did all this Super Saiyan Bam Wham Tamalistic shit, and bing, you did. According to the very own text scriptures and all the shit that we are referring to, you did me. Yeah. And God was not God by himself creating all this shit alone without having no kind of consult with anybody the fuck else. It said the gods created man, as in multiple motherfucking gods, as in more than one God. So it ain't just God and a bunch of angels and a few little motherfucking pesky humans that was generated from apes and motherfucking baboon nuts. No, we got multiple gods. Now, every civilization in history, with every religion that has ever been created and divulged and doled off into, okay, now everybody has a story of creation in their culture and in their inner fabrics. So the worship gene is something that I'm just now finding out about, but I got to tell you that I know that it's got to be motherfucking true, because what do motherfucking humans love to do? Worship shit. Worship motherfuckers. Worship anything that they can point to that's bigger, smaller, hairier, or motherfucking scarier than they punk asses, okay? So, boom. The people over in the region of India, you know, they're primarily Buddhists, right? So they pray to Buddha, and they've got the Bhagavad Gita and many other beautiful writings that are, when read rhythmically, can really teach you and touch you and dip off into your soul. Okay. Then we've got my people, originally, historically, right? We got the Hebrews. Okay. Bam. We've got Zion. We've got Judah. We've got niggas. Okay. You understand this? Boom. So in a very short and, not too goddamn far away region, we developed something called Judaism, which eventually was turned and misconstrued and twisted into something they call Christianity. All right, bam. Which then had a stepchild named Islam. Now, some people are gonna get motherfucking mad at this, but I don't give a fuck what you're mad about, my nigga, because I done been Christian, I done been Muslim, I done been bamboozled both motherfucking times. Why is this? I'll tell you why this is. Because even though at every stretch, motherfucking corner, intersection, and turn, right? Anytime you ask an academic or a scholastic individual about the historical value, prominence, and accuracy of the Bible, you understand me? Which is, don't forget, the be all to end all when it comes to, you can't figure out a way to end the debate on a note that makes sense. God damn it, point back to the Bible. You dig? Point back to the goddamn Bible. Why not? You dig me? It's the same thing that the last motherfuckers before you did, and the motherfuckers before that, and the motherfuckers before that. So now, bing. Okay, you got the Bible. Now, I'm not gonna fault the Bible. The Bible was written, they say, divinely, through the divinity of the gods on high, spoken and translated through the minds of men on earth. Okay, now check this shit out. We call those who have received the divine words and scriptures and put them down on paper, tablet, stone, motherfucking hide, cow ass, whatever the fuck they sketched, etched it, and wrote it on. You dig this? We call those people prophets. So then you got the Prophet Muhammad, right? Who is actually something that I would consider to be a false idol. You dig this? People in Islam really hold in very high regard the Prophet Muhammad. Okay, he is known as one of the few to be taken up into heaven. Now, this is crazy shit, though. How could he be taken up into heaven, the same heaven that Christians and shit go to, when, oh, by the way, yeah, Christians don't carry the same stamp belief and doctrine, dogma, right, when it comes down to what they talking about. Now, bam, you got the story of Christianity and the story of Islam, basically the same motherfucking story, same character, same motherfucking timeline, same motherfucking setting, same everything, except for one thing. One was written by Jacob, you dig me, the son of the son of God on high, Yahweh. Okay, bam. Then you got Ishmael, right, who would be the illegitimate son of Abraham, right, with his maid, with his servant, with his motherfucking side bitch. You understand me? Ishmael was still raised royally as a prince, had his own tribe, his following, his own people, his own thoughts and beliefs, his own motherfucking culture that he developed, ripened, and then plucked for the picking right when it was at the most motherfucking ultimate time for him. Now, okay, two people, two brothers of other mothers, right? Same father, telling the same stories that they was basically told on their way to bed, probably. Okay, bam. They put this down, generation after generation, generation after generation, boom. Then you get to a certain point. Now, don't think, don't think Muhammad ain't part of the same bloodline, because, oh yeah, by the way, he is. He might be the red-headed step cousin of a motherfucker that was really the one that's divinely on high, but it don't matter. He was still a part of the bloodline, which means he still had the same divine motherfucking feed running through his noodle. Now, bang. Day after day after day after day after year after motherfucking year. War after war, you dig me? Christianity and or Judaism will fight tooth and fucking nail to try to bury Islam, its beliefs, its followers, its principles, which are all the same. Okay, again, let me just tell you, because I've read all these books, I have studied these in depth, and I have seen for myself what is spoken in the text. So you may have some different supporting guidelines and narratives that are established in different books like the Talmud. You understand me? The Talmud is something that is really only read by, Jewish priests, which I can't think of what the fuck they call them right now. But anyways, the Papa, man, the one that's out there teaching at the synagogue and bringing all his followers to glory. Now, okay, back in ancient times, it was believed that you could earn your way to heaven, and people praised, worshiped, threw in sacrifices, gave up their motherfucking kids and every other little motherfucking piece of life savings they had to a high priest or a goddamn government official. Why? So that they could gain, right, the divine acceptance to be accepted into heaven. But, okay, we found out in the New Testament, if that is a testament at all, that somebody considers as new or part of their, doctrine, we found out that you have to ask for forgiveness, ask for God to accept you, and for Jesus to Yeshua to take you, accept you, and bridge you to God the Father, which is all spiritually part of the same one, right? Okay, bam. Now you're gonna need a motherfucking middleman to get to the same God that said only praise, worship, connect, speak to, and come to me. Now, God is a very egotistically driven egotistically driven individual. Let me not say man, because that would be a misrepresentation of what I feel to be my truth. So, bam, you got all of these factors woven and woven into the same image. Now, I say what these major 6 or 7 religions should be called is the isms, because the isms, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, which is the one that falls off the right? Okay, catechism, Catholic, Catholicness, all of that shit, right? They all tell the same stories of the same people, of the same from the same place, same regions, not necessarily all the same time. Why? Because they are all preaching what represents the best, most opportune way for them to keep control over the mass of people who follow that particular doctrine. Now, boom. Let's fast forward a little bit. Ancient Samaria, we touched on that a very skitty itty little bit, right? Ancient Samaria is such a cornerstone, big ass piece of what it is to be a human being, to be a hominoid, to be a fucking human, man. Right, boom. Without ancient Samaria, we would not have had the tinkering in the laboratory, which is also known as the Garden of Eden, or we can call it any other seven other motherfucking titles we want to, right? But the point is, genetic manipulation happened and was slung upon the Neanderthalish motherfucking oop the goops running around this motherfucker hunting and gathering and being ignorant. Okay, bang. Human beings were made to do nothing more than to fucking mine the gold mines out in the Sumerian region to bring that to the ones we call gods, right? Okay, bing. Now, okay, those gods, ill mistakenly, and aliens are pretty much the same thing. So now you got gods and angels, demons and demons and screamings and all the rest of the shit, jinn and all the rest of the men. Okay, now they are all divinely part of one same being, one creator, right? That one creator is the one who has basically taken his own mojo, spread it around through many brothels and generated and created what is now known as man. So we on this very planet tend to think of ourselves as the only ones in this big vast fucking universe, and we really truly fucking think that there is no other gifted ecosystem and environment that is that is capable of creating the beautiful petri dish that we have going on in our environment known as Earth and our motherfucking, yeah. Anyway, in our environment. So now you slide all that together. Okay, when you really look at the major religions and what they're fighting over the same thing that many other cousins, brothers, siblings, and iblings fight over all the time, every other day. They're fighting over the small details, man, the very little points of a story that, oh no, well, it really went like this. No, well, it really went like this. Instead of coming together, unifying, and really congealing and conjuling over the fact that they all share a unified belief in a in a line in a lineage that is proven to obviously be real. Now, if you come to a historian and you are talking to them about biblical events and accounts, right, and even the people who are listed and mentioned in the biblical text or in, you know what I'm saying, Islamic text or whatever, right? When you get to talking to a historian about that, they first thing they will jump and tell you, okay, if they are a person of faith or not, is that the those religious texts, they are not historically accurate. Those religious texts, they do not congeal with scientific method, theory, and belief, hypotheses, and all that kind of shit there, right? Bing. And I have to say that I call bullshit when it comes down to that. Because when I hear them say that there was a big boom that spread out, created the universe from dust and mush, what I'm hearing is when God said, let there be, boom, there you go. He was supposed to be that man. Let there be, and there was, right? So, okay, we got this infinite, perpetual growth and moving motion off of one simple thought and some words that put them into motion. Okay, once you get this thing going, there's no stopping it. The many different lanes and routes of evolution are not predictable to any, right? I'm sure that the creator had an idea of what would happen when he said, let there be, and put this thing into motion and got it going. But he didn't even, in my opinion, think out the infinite potential, the infinite different, nooks and crannies of how we could evolve as a race, as a society, as a You know what I'm saying, as an existence. So now, you bring yourself to times more current. When Judah fell, when Solomon was defeated, when Babylon went in and took the 2 year raid over Jerusalem, okay? And they took many artifacts, many different, treasures and all of this, and basically built the wealth that is known as Western civilization right now. You dig me? This rape, pillage, and take from the village type of shit happened from the time of Lamentations in the Bible. We're still talking Old Testament shit, right? From then on till about the early 1900s into this very fucking day. That raiding of our riches, our knowledge, our wisdom, our ways, our teachings, you dig me? It was stripped from us, ripped from us. Those who were nobles and dignitarians were turned into servants, slaves, basic common folks out there working the fields. You dig? The Moors, right? The Moors, those are people who are African and Moroccan. You dig me? The Moors, they are still people to this very day, world renowned. And let me say, before Christopher Columbus's crusty ass jumped on a motherfucking ship, left Spain, and ended up on the wrong goddamn continent, which he thought he was sailing to India, but he popped up on the Americas, which really was spotted by not Christopher Columbus on that very ship, but by Amerigos Vespucci, right? Amerigos is why this is called America, so they'll say, right? But if you really dig down deep into the meaning of the word Americas, right? It really means the land of the indigenous people, or the land of the people who were already here. Now, it's advertised time and time again, day in after end, that the Africans that are known as African Americans, as Black Americans in this country right now, that we were all taken from our homeland, wrapped up, chained up, ripped and stipped, raped and taped, put on ships, and dragged across the motherfucking Atlantic Ocean for months on end and brought to the Americas, right? Okay, bang. Every small island along the way from the continent of Africa is littered, peppered, and sprinkled with the descendants of those Africans who were taken from Africa. But there was also a very large contingency, a huge contingency, one bigger than the numbers that were brought here on ship, at least by the Spaniards and those others, right? There was a very huge contingency of African descendants and lineage right here in this country already. Oh, let me say it. Yeah, when motherfucking Columbus's sorry ass even landed on this continent in the first place. Right, bang. And I'm sorry if that hurts somebody's feelings, but I'm only speaking the truth as I've seen it, know it, researched it, and dug into it for myself. So now, Columbus lands here. They start doing the same thing that they done right down in South America. They take every indigenous and or native person that they could find. They put them in the indentured servitude and or slavery, right? And free labor is the easiest way to run your corporation up to a Fortune 500 or whatever, right? Being so, when they got here, they took the Moors, they took other African descendant tribes, and they basically took them, tricked them, put them into slavery, took all the riches, took all the treasures, and all of the things that we already had established here, right? Why is it that the Grand Canyon is 93%? Listen to me though, 93% like authorized personnel only, right? 93% of the Grand Canyon. We think of the Grand Canyon, it's grand, it's huge, it's big. The Grand Canyon in all of its grandeur and all of its beauty and its valor and its glory, right? We can only step on 7% of the grounds that we know as the Grand Canyon. Why is that? I'm going to tell you why only 7% of the Grand Canyon is available for civilians like yourself to step foot on, right? Because there are things behind the scenes. There are many caves and caverns in the Grand Canyon that not full of scorpions and motherfucking snakes and vipers and whatever, venomous snakes. No, those mini canyons, creeks, and valleys and ways, those are already lined with petroglyphs, hieroglyphics. They are already Like they're already holding and maintaining ancient structures that already were here well before Columbus. The Vikings, okay, the Norwegians, those guys right there, the ones labeled and listed as pagans right along the side of Africans. The Vikings landed here in the United States many years, like at least a millennia before Christopher Columbus ever set foot or sail on the Americas, right? Bang, but we don't hear anything about that. Well, you don't hear it on the front line and on the front end, but what you will see is this: the more we dig, the more dirt that we scrape off the top of what we know right now as the grounds of these Americas, man, I'm gonna tell you this: under your feet is historical knowledge, historical proof, archaeological fucking, I mean, paramount treasures, right, are right there under our very own feet. If we could excavate, scrape the top level of this fucking land that we walk on each and every day, you would find out that there was over 2,000 pyramids right here in America before Christopher Columbus ever set sail, stepped foot, and landed on this place. So all I'm asking you to do is to challenge every piece of knowledge that's ever been handed to you. Any story that anybody's ever told you by spoken word or through the reading of a book, I want you to look that shit up for yourself. What I'm trying to get you to do, folks, is not take a motherfucker's word for it. Don't take my word for it. Man, every fucking thing I said, go fact check the fuck out of me today. If I'm wrong, call my punk ass out right here in the comments. You know why? Because that conversation being started is worth being called out for. I love you. Don't forget to love yourself. People realize what's yours, okay? They can tell their accounts and their tales of history. They can run down bullshit ass theoretical science all they want to, but if it don't fucking fit, it ain't right. You dig me? Till the next time, I'm out of here. Look, use your mind and make your body stronger.